What's up, guys, and welcome to Work Wednesdays. Today I'm going to talk about something very near and dear to me. I'm going to talk about going to college. Should you? Is it worth it? Are you going to end up looking like this with a sideways hat if you don't? Let's get started. What's up, guys? So I shot this one yesterday, and I feel like I didn't do the best job because I came off sounding like I was completely anti-college, and I'm not. I went to college. I went to Berklee College of Music. I got a degree after 2 years of studying there as a bachelor in jazz composition or a bachelor in arts. And it was a fun time. I learned a lot. And I've got a couple questions in this one that I kind of asked myself to do this video, and I want to make sure that I hit them correctly. So the first question is it worth it to go? And I think, I'm looking over here because the questions are over here, so if you see that. I think when you ask the question, is it worth it to go, the real question to ask is, can you learn all of this stuff nowadays somewhere else? So I think when we think about college, we think about like our parents have told us we should go, society tells us we should go. Our parents and society are older than us, and they didn't have YouTube and the internet. So even when I went to college, which was only a few years back, we didn't have the YouTube Academy that you could do now. And so everything that you learn in college, you can now learn very easily right in front of you at a computer. So here's how I'll break it down. The average annual cost of public college is $10,000 a year, while the average annual cost of private college is $36,000 a year. That's in 2020 right now. That means that you'll spend anywhere between $40,000 if you're going to a four-year school to $144,000 if you're going to a private school, on average, more or less, in the next 4 years. The internet, you pay a monthly fee for anyway, and it's right there. Now, I'm in no means trying to say don't go to college. I went to college myself, and I had a lot of good experiences and learned a lot of stuff. I think you should weigh out what your options are, because when you look at $144,000 and then you think about the average cost of a house in America being $200,000, well, you pretty much own the house by the time you're done going to college. Plus, you had to pay rent the whole time you were there, so you do own the house. So you could just buy a house and skip college and have worked and gained work experience the whole time. The second question is, who's it good for? Well, it's great for teachers. Teachers and professors need it in order to teach. And it was designed for them because it turns out professors, doctorate level is a teaching level, it's a professional level. And so if you're going to be a teacher, that's what you need to do. Go to college. My third question is what I got out of it. What I got out of it is a lot of connections, but that's mainly based on my own desire to make those connections. And that's a reason to put yourself into that kind of a situation, because in a college, you surround yourself with other like-minded people that are doing similar things to what you're doing, and those relationships can and probably will help you further down the road. So that's definitely a reason to go to college. Is it a reason to pay over $100,000 to go to college? Well, that's for you to decide. I don't know how much money you have at your disposal. I also got a great work ethic while I was there. I was working 40 hours a week at Bose in Framingham while I was a peer advisor at Berklee College of Music. At the same time, I was majoring in jazz composition and arranging for the finale of the commencement concert of our graduating class. All of these things were going on at the same time, and it created this urge in me to just work and work and work, and it hasn't stopped. I now find quiet time and I start making videos. And I think ultimately all of that hard work and time at Berklee really paid off, because it got me right where I am today, which is a really cool place to be, because I get to do what I love for a living and kind of chuckle as I think of all the thousands of people that I know that went to college and aren't doing what they love. Oh, sorry. Anyway, my last question is what you should really get out of it. Well, like I mentioned in the previous one, you should make the connections that you need to succeed the rest of your life. Forget about the learning part. You can do that on YouTube. Although that's not saying don't learn while you're in college. Obviously, you're paying for it. Do it. But the most important part of that experience, I believe, is to make connections. Whether they're making connections with professors so that you can, in the future, teach at that college, or it's making connections with the geniuses in your class. I talked about this a little bit last week with the investment thing. Making friends with the people that you believe are going to be most successful so that you can then capitalize on that in the future. And I know that sounds rude. Like, why would you make friends just to capitalize on them? They could do the same to me. It's fine. But I really think that that is what college is good for. If you're going to spend that kind of money and time, you should get your investment back. And the best way to get that investment back is by making the investment in the things that are really there, that are long lasting. Because information changes, you can get it online. So everything that you learn in college, eventually, by the time you get older, is obsolete anyway. I mean, right now I'm studying Premiere Pro and Photoshop and Illustrator because, hey, what do you know? I want to use those skills, and I'm not going back to college to do that. So you don't have to necessarily get it at college, but if you're going to go, capitalize on it. Anyway, that's a much shorter video than what I shot yesterday, and that's the end of Work Wednesday. Please subscribe and click the like button if you already haven't. Comment down below and let me know if you want to know more about a specific thing, like what experience was at Berkeley. Would I do it again? I probably would. What are some of the classes I took? Any of that kind of stuff I'd love to talk about during Work Wednesday. Other things too, if you want to know what drives the most income for me, I'm fine talking about whatever.